What is up, everybody? It is your boy Mr. Griffin 23 here coming at you, and it is the next day. So this video was actually filmed yesterday, but I'm doing a little intro to give you kind of the backstory on this car. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, definitely think about hitting that subscribe button, y'all. If you love everything and anything cars, specifically old school cars, somebody the other day said that I bleed old school cars, and so that's pretty much true, man. I mean, it's my passion, it's my hobby, and anytime I can work on or wrench on one of my cars, that's what I'm doing. And I figured, why not share that with you guys? Since I'm going to be doing it anyway, why not take a little bit of time to kind of document that, and to also help out another person if it's something that I'm doing and they're also doing and they get stuck or they need help, or vice versa, that we can all just basically help everybody and bring this community together. So if you tune in for the first time, definitely think about subscribing, hit the notification bell so that way you can always know when I post a video. But I don't want to make this video too drawn out, but I have to give you the backstory on this car and why I was after it so much, and why in the heck did I buy another car. So first off, somebody actually asked, I think it was Trent Dog actually asked, he was like, dang, nice car. He was like, but how in the heck do you store all these cars? Do you have storage fees and all that? That can't be too cheap. Well, it's actually not that bad. So I do have a huge storage facility, not only with my car, but well, it's not huge, but it's big. And I have my car stored in there, and I also have just regular household items and such. So just pretty much anything and everything that I can store in there. When I was younger, I used to have a job where I always relocated a lot, and I would go somewhere for 6 months at a time. I would come back and I would leave again. So I never really had my own place to live. So when I came back, I would just stay with my mom for like a month or two, then I would leave again. So that's pretty much why I have the storage unit, and I was able to actually obtain one for fairly cheap, and I've always had it since, so why not just keep it? So I don't actually pay that much for it, so that's a blessing, and I'm able to actually have these cars as well too. So to answer that question, there you go. Anyways, in regards to the 71 Buick Skylark convertible, man, I have been after this car for pretty much since I can remember, in my early or my late teenager years into my early 20s. So this car was actually my uncle's car. He bought it from a previous owner who I think was the original owner. And my uncle actually owned this car for about 15 years. Complete restoration, not a frame off, but pretty much all new suspension, rebuilt the engine. It's a Buick 350 engine in it. I mean, everything, new interior, new convertible top. It does need a good paint job, as in the previous years, the paint has been it's been painted over and then over and over. It was never taken down to bare metal. So my uncle just wanted a quick paint job on it, so he actually did the same thing and painted over it. But it's been painted the same color about 3 times. But yeah, it just needs one. The paint on it is really thick. If you take like a little, I think it's called a mill reader or something like that, it's pretty thick, y'all. And in places it's really thick. So I don't really know what's under it. I don't know if I'm gonna be replacing panels or anything like that if I ever decide to paint it, which I will. It's just not a priority because it's about a good 20 footer. So good 20 feet back, it looks good. As you get closer, you'll see some imperfections, but you know, it's a cruiser, so that's pretty much what it is right now. So it does need paint. So it does need paint, but anyways, he painted it and did some other things. I mean, it's pretty much a complete restoration. Now, it does need some things, and he wasn't trying to get it perfect, as he was just using it as a driver in a cruiser, although he hardly ever drove it. So I was after it for a long time. And then in my early 30s, he actually reached out to me out the blue and asked if I wanted it. I said, well, yeah, but I wasn't prepared for it, and I wasn't able to buy it because, you know, I couldn't imagine how much he would be selling it for. So he actually ended up selling it to me for a really good deal. And he was like, you know what, don't worry about the money and all that. He was like, let's just agree on a price and then just pay me that monthly until it's paid off. So that's what happened. I paid him $200 a month until that thing was paid off, y'all. And that's what family does, man. Family takes care of you. and I was super grateful for that. And man, I had the car that I wanted. Now, my first car was a 74 Chevy Nova. I had that car for about 17 years, y'all, 17 years. And that was my baby, man. It was totally tricked out, super nice and everything. However, I said that I would only sell it if I got a convertible and if I got that specific car. And so when I ended up getting it, I actually kept my Nova and the Skylark for probably about 2 years because I couldn't part with the Nova. But finally, things happened and I actually ended up parting with it. So, and then I just had the Skylark. So now, fast forward a little bit, there was a rough patch in my life, man, just finances and a lot of other different things, not to get into that. But I did everything I could to not sell that car. And as a last resort, I had to sell it, and so that happened. Now, I never regretted selling the car. I always felt bad, and I always wished that I always had it or had it back. But I never regret it because you go through things in life where, you know, you can't help what happens. And at the time, it was what was needed. And that car helped me to get out of situations that, that actually was unforeseen. However, it helped me during that time in my life, and I'm grateful for it. So, however, that doesn't mean that I never thought about the car and that I did not want it back. So, I always thought about the car. However, the crazy thing is I never looked for the car. Well, I don't want to say never. I maybe looked for it maybe once or twice, but I mean, I really can't remember when. So there was never a consistency of me searching for the car or wanting it back or anything like that. I didn't know where it was. I mean, to be quite honest, I thought maybe it was gone out of state. I didn't really know. You know how some people get buy cars and they flip them or they, you know, restore them again and change it the color and all that. So I just didn't really know. So fast forward to just 2 years ago. This car popped up for sale in my area. So I just randomly saw it. You know, I'm always searching for stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and it popped up, and I was like, whoa, that looks like my car. Clicked on it. Sure enough, it was the car that I used to own. And you know, as a car guy, there's just certain things that you look for, and you're like, whoa, I did that to that car. I did that to that car. That's my car. So I wasn't in the area, so I actually asked a buddy of mine to go check it out. And it was no longer there. So he wasn't even able to go check it out because I got a notification saying it was sold. It sold within 2 hours of being posted. And the reason why I found that out is because the guy that I bought it from was the guy that bought it. And he said that he hit on it 2 hours after it was posted, went and checked it out, bought it. Now, fast forward to now, as I mentioned, the guy that I just bought it from. So it came up for sale again recently. And all I saw was the hood. And the hood that I actually added on it was the GS hood. If you guys know anything about the A-body Buicks, you know that they came in the GS and the GSX models. And I added the GS hood that I actually scored from a guy a few hours away that also came with the Ram air breather also too. So we'll get a little bit more into that a little later on in another video. But I added that hood on there, so that's the first thing that I saw was the hood. Clicked on it and started scrolling through pictures, and sure enough, it was the car. It was the car again. I kind of sat on it for a second, and then I was like, dang, should I message the guy? Because I wasn't prepared to buy a car, but I was like, man, how can I make this happen? So, messaged the guy. It is actually still available. As I did more research on it, it's actually been for sale for about a month. I didn't ask him that, but just looking at the listings and things like that, and we're actually in car groups together locally. I noticed that he posted it around Thanksgiving. So the crazy thing is I reached out to this girl who we actually had a mutual friend with. On Facebook, it shows you if you have mutual friends with anybody. And we had one mutual friend. It was actually a friend of mine's sister, but we're actually friends on Facebook. So I reached out to her, and she vouched for him and said, hey, yeah, he's a really cool guy. Has always been into cars. He actually went to high school with my dad, and is super legit, super cool. So that was awesome. So I knew that the car was at least taken care of and in a safe place. So that actually also made me want to get the car even more, because I figured it was probably taken care of. So now I go look at the car, and man, it was like deja vu, man. The car looks exactly the same for the most part. It's about 95% the same with a few little touches, odds and ends. I mean, 95% of it is the same, and the main thing is it's all there, y'all. It's all there. So really super cool guy. When I told him the story, he was like totally blown away. And if you're a real true car guy, you can appreciate that, man, the backstory and everything with this car, and then how it pretty much came back to me. Man, it was surreal. It was crazy. Drove the car, pretty much drove the same. I believe I calculated the miles and everything, so I actually have pictures, old pictures of the car and the actual cluster on the car, and it showed the miles. So the miles that it has on it now versus the miles that it had on it when I had it, the difference is like 30,000 miles. So in a 10-year span, this car has only been driven about 30,000 miles. I think we calculated to about 2,000 miles a year or something crazy like that. So anyways, I know it's been taken care of. Here's where we're at today. Made the deal, got it done, drove it home. 2 hours I drove this car home, 70 to 80 miles an hour. Man, drove super nice, man. It felt so good to drive that car. And you know how sometimes you have like buyer's remorse or a little bit of remorse because like, man, I didn't want to spend that money, or should I have bought the car? Zero, y'all, zero. It's just crazy because you always hear about these stories, but you never really think they're gonna happen to you. And sure enough, it happened to me, and I'm grateful for it, man. I'm grateful. Stay tuned for these next clips because it's gonna show you our drive up there and pretty much kind of the process of it all. I didn't film a lot of the transaction piece of it where we were talking and kind of dealing numbers and stuff like that. But there are some good clips in there, some good clips of me rolling. My girl didn't get the greatest clips of me driving. Sorry for the long intro, but I had to tell you the backstory on it and why I wanted this car so much. And I'm super excited to bring this car to the channel because I don't want to say regret, but one thing I always wished that, and why I still had this car too, is because I've gotten better over the years in regards to working on these cars and just everything. And I always wondered, like, man, if I knew back then what I know now, how much better would that car be? And I always thought of that, and that really, really bummed me out. And today, now I got it back, and I'm super excited about it. So there's not gonna be anything crazy with the car or anything like that. I'm not gonna LS swap it or anything like that, at least as of now. That engine is pretty much dialed in for the most part, is for, at least for what I know from now. And it drove great. I mean, with maybe 30,000, 40,000 miles on it over the past, 20, 30 years or more. There's really no need to. I'm really just gonna tune it up, get it running really, really, really good, fix some things on it. You guys know how I do, and then just kind of go from there. So anyways, y'all, stay tuned. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, stick with me, y'all, man. We got it. I'm super excited, and I'm excited to bring you this 1971 Buick Skylark convertible that I owned 10 years ago, and we got it back. Yeah. What is up, everybody? Your boy is back on the grind another time, and I am in the whip with...
Hi.
What's up?
Hi, everybody.
With the lady, and we are actually en route. As the thumbnail says, man, I might be getting a new ride. Another new ride.
One more car.
Oh, man. But this is a different story, y'all. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of how this has all come full circle back into where we're at today. You guys stay tuned, all right? Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, man. Ooh-wee. It definitely has its flaws, like here. New top is needed. but it's not too bad. It actually looks the same from when I had owned it before. I'm gonna go ahead and look inside. Man, it looks pretty much the same. What it do, gang? Your boy is riding right now. Man, it has been 10 years since I drove this car. This exact car, y'all. Exact same car. And man, does it feel good, y'all. Does it feel good? Oh, man. Sounds the same. Woo! Everything is in it is the exact same. It ain't like my LS, but she rides, man. She rides. She got a 350 in it. I have to pop the hood. Now, I have not bought it yet, but I'm just test driving it first to make sure everything drives good. But man, I can't believe I'm driving this car again, y'all. This is crazy. I will tell you, man, this thing, I feel good, man. I feel good in it. And if you can see the expression on my face, now I'm wearing my mask right now because obviously it's been in another person's possession. And you know, I'm just wearing my mask just as precaution. But man, everything is there still. Everything is there. Woo. Crazy, crazy. Now you gotta stay tuned, man. I'm gonna go ahead and drive it, make sure everything is copacetic, and then I'll holler back at you. Well, y'all, it is actually a few days later, and now we have switched spots. I'm actually the passenger now, but fast forward, man, we are actually en route to get this car. Yes, man, it just worked out that way, and oh man, I can't. These are the kind of stories that I don't know. You don't ever think that will happen to you. You always hear about them, but they don't necessarily happen to you. At least you don't think they will. And man, it just worked out that way, and I feel grateful, and I'm excited, and there's a lot of emotion in regards to getting this car back. And with that being said, a lot of other things have happened in efforts to get this car, but we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But we are probably 5 minutes away from pulling up to get this car, and I'm very, very excited. We're actually in a small town, probably one of the last towns, which is right there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. See if we can get it extra rolling up on it right now. Bellingham, Washington is where the car was found, and where it's been, actually a little outside of here, probably a little bit further north, but it's where it's been for a couple years now. Well taken care of and everything, but man, I'm excited for this, and hopefully I can get you footage of it. I probably won't do much of the transaction, but definitely when I get in the car and all that good stuff, we'll try to get some rolling footage and everything. And we're kind of crunched for time because we got to get back because we're in between clients right now for my training, but we'll get as much footage as I can, and obviously
turn right onto
I'll do a
then keep left onto Prospect Street.
I'll do a thorough walk around on this car, man, but y'all stay tuned. Well, you guys, your boy is the proud owner of a 1971 Buick Skylark convertible, drop top on them, with the GS hood. Now the story on this car is gonna be crazy. I'm not gonna share it right now, but because we got to get out of here. But I at least wanted to show you the ride I picked up. It has its flaws. Looks like it has a dent in it right here. But all in all, man, she is in pretty good shape. I'm at the courthouse down here, man, so I don't want to be filming and be suspicious and have them come out and say something or think something weird, like I'm not filming my own car. But y'all, here it is. I just picked it up, just gave the guy the cash for it, and now we about to take off. So we do got to get back, man. We'll try to get some rolling shots. What it do, y'all? So we out here at the gas station. I'm just putting gas in it right now, and let's use the unsteady hand. I'm trying to put this gas in. But man, yo, tell me what you guys think, man. Get in the comments right now and let me know what you think of the ride, man. Oh my gosh. Insane, man. Insane. The whole story with all this is insane. And I'll have to tell you guys more about that here in the days to come. But everything that's been done to this car is pretty much what I did to it. I'm gonna go ahead and put some healthy gas, but look how expensive gas is in here, man. Shoot. But I'm gonna treat her good. I'm gonna treat her good, y'all, while she's filling up. Get in the comments, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. That's what it do. Your boy is in the ride. Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless right now, y'all. Speechless. We cruising about 70 right now on the freeway, and man, this car has always drove so good, man. A little bit loud right now. I got before I sold it, I had put all new exhaust on it. And hold on, I'm passing by a truck. And I have put 40 series Flowmasters on it. It sounds healthy, man. It sounds real healthy. It sounds good. There's a slight drone in it, not too bad, but with it being a convertible, it's super loud, even with the tops up. But small, sacrifice to pay for a drop top, you know? But man, I got my girl behind me. Probably can't see her, but look at this, man. White guts. My speakers are still back there. Everything that I did to this car is virtually the same. Some little weird little kinks and things like that. Little twerks that I have to work out. But man, she ride nice, man. She ride nice. It feels so good to be back in this car. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and concentrate on the road. I'll holler back at y'all in a little while. Guys, we made it home, and man, did this thing drive phenomenal. 70 to 80 miles an hour, no hiccups at all. Drove great, man. Drove great. Oh man, it's crazy to have this car back in my possession after 10 years, maybe a little less, but man, after 10 years, this car is back. And I'm gonna make a separate video as far as a walk around, but I at least just want to give you guys a quick sneak peek at what it looks like and some things that I've noticed that has changed. Now, 95% of everything is the exact same of how I sold the car. The color is the same. I had this actually painted with an orange brake in it because, long story short, I had it stored at my mom's house. It was outside under a tarp, and it ended up having some water damage inside the paint. The paint started to bubble, and then it just didn't look good. So I had this actually painted by a buddy of mine, this pearl white, to kind of like match the top, because the top is like an off-white. And it actually looks really, really sharp, especially during the day in the sunlight, because it has a little nice little blue sheen to it. That pearl kind of pops. He actually does freehand pinstriping, so he did that 71 Buick for me on the back. like these little accents here, like I painted the surrounds of the taillights blue. Like there are certain different things about the car that I knew it was the car I used to own. This kind of bums me out that they let this happen to the back. It was already kind of going bad, but then they didn't fix it, or they didn't, you know, they kind of did this dumb patch job on it. I don't know if it was a previous owner. I don't think it was. I think it was actually the owners before him. He actually just stored the car and drove it on nice days, and he always kept the top down. And in his shop, it got really dusty and everything, and so the inside of the car is just completely dusty, and it's just kind of really nasty inside. So I'm definitely gonna have to clean it. You can't really tell because of the white interior, but as soon as I wiped my hand back there on the seat, it was just completely white when I checked my hand. But everything else is still in here, man. My stereo, I put those kick panels in. I put those speakers in the back. Everything is still the same. The main thing that I'm really glad about is there's no major tears or rips. There is one rip here, but that was already there even when I had the car, and luckily it didn't get any worse. It's just really dirty, and you know, when I drove the car, I actually had a towel down and I put some covers on the seats and stuff. Obviously they didn't do that, but I think a good detail will help, and it'll actually clean it up really nice. I painted the dash that blue color myself, just with a rattle can. It actually turned out really good. I just took it to a paint shop, and they actually matched the paint of the car the best that they could and put it in a can, and I painted it. So it looks really good. I actually reached out to my boy Steve Davis. Steve Davis, shout out to you, brother. He's actually going to look into getting a digital Dakota dash for me, so that'll work out really good. It needs it, man. These gauges are old, probably original to the car. They work, but they definitely could use an upgrade, and the lights don't work. So if I'm going to take this out anyway to kind of recondition it and all, because I want to paint it and everything, I might as well just replace the whole cluster with a new set of Dakota digital and call it a day. But man, everything is pretty much there. It is clean, definitely needs a new carpet. There's a guy here that's selling a carpet for a Chevelle, which is basically the same car, just a different body. And supposedly it's new. He's selling it for a good price, so I think I just might pick that up and just throw those in here. I'll show you the engine. If I, oh, actually I forgot the hood pop is under the hood. But man, look at that door shut really nice. Same wheels on here and everything. Man, I'm stoked to get this car back. This hood is a GS hood, and I put this hood on. I actually tracked this hood like about 4 hours away when I used to live here a really long time ago, and my buddy painted it, who's actually painting my Chevelle. It actually matched it pretty good, and I threw that on there. It had some damage here when I was towing it in the cargo van. It actually slid and then bent this part way up, like totally like 90 degrees. And so he actually bent it back down and fixed it for me, but it kind of left this not sitting right. So one day I'll have it fixed, but it's pretty good for now. But man, crazy I got this car back, y'all. Let me go ahead and pop this hood real quick. All right, you guys, so here we go. This is a Buick 350. My uncle was the previous owner before me, and he totally rebuilt the engine. To my knowledge, since I had not had the car, I think it's only been driven maybe about 10 to 15,000 miles, more or less. So it pretty much virtually looks exactly the same as when I left it, with the exception of a new battery, some terminals, things like that, but pretty much exactly the same. Nothing has really changed on it too much. I actually added that air cleaner. I actually got it with the hood. The guy was selling everything. These little hood scoop grates there and everything. I put those little hood insulation pads in there and all. So yeah, I added that. Everything else is pretty much stock. It has a little bit of get up and go, but you know, it's definitely kind of, when you've driven an LS, especially a built LS, and then you go to something kind of stock again. I haven't actually driven a stock 350 in a really long time, so to drive this is kind of crazy. But yeah, man, it's actually looks really good. Everything is clean and intact. I see it does have an oil leak down there, so there's going to be some things I'm definitely going to have to address and go over, but again, for the most part, everything is there. And shoot, man, I'm super excited about this, man. I'm super excited. Can't wait to kind of dive into this car. It won't be anything immediate, but sometime down the future we will get this thing dialed in, and it'll kind of be a whole nother project series on this car, and something great for the channel. What I do like about it is it has the dual headlights, and that's what I do like about it. I love the lines on this car. It's just awesome. It does need a solid paint job. As you can see, it has some imperfections. There is a thick amount of paint on here. It's cracked here, and that's probably from mud, and there's a dent here. There's little dings and dents along the car. I did know that it did need a paint job, from my understanding, especially when my boy painted this. He actually took it down to bare metal. He sent me a picture, and this car has been painted over and over paint, and then over again, probably about a good 3 or 4 times. The same color. Whoever had it painted the same color. Then my uncle actually had just a cheap paint job thrown on it as well, and then that was pretty much it. So it's gonna definitely need some love, but you know, that's nothing immediate. This paint job is pretty much a 20-footer, and it's pretty solid. So I mean, for 20 feet, but if you get closer than that, then yeah, you're gonna definitely see some imperfections. But the first order of business is just to kind of clean up the small things. I'm gonna have to address a few things on it, and then just get it going from there, y'all. So I'm super excited to get this car back, man. Wait till you guys hear the story. I don't want to dive into it right now because I have some clients coming. There'll be a whole nother video on this, and it'll definitely be a story that you will want to hear, how it came back into my life and how I now own this 1971 Buick Skylark convertible. My plans for it, just real quick, is to actually probably just clone it into a GS or a GSX, because it has the hood, it has the air breather. There's not a whole lot that I would need to do other than changing the engine, which I'm not going to do because that engine is in really good shape as far as I know as of right now. But there's little things like badging and things like that. I might remove the little moldings on the side and keep the rockers, because the rockers is what actually is a staple on the GS's and the GSX's, and they actually had a red stripe painted along the side of the rocker moldings. The GX's, the stage 1s, had a fender badge in the front. It said GS stage 1. The GSX's, I believe, had the GSX in the back here on the rear quarter, and then some of them had the little wing in the back. I'm not sure exactly which one had the wing. I'm not sure if only the GSX's had the wing technically, or the GS stage 1s maybe had them as well. I don't think the GS stage 1s had them, but again, I could be totally wrong on that. But I believe the GSX's had them, and then they had the decal as well too. So we'll see which route I go. But I would like to do something a little bit different with it. I've never had a wing in an old school car, so I might do that. But those wings, especially an OEM one, are really expensive. But I really don't have to do too much to it. I might it rides really smooth, but I might upgrade the suspension on it. I might do some other odds and ends. I would like to kind of change the wheels on it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what I would want to go with, but we shall see. But man, you guys stay tuned. I'm so excited I got this car back, and it's about to be on. So again, another project for the channel, another car to the fleet. And stay tuned again for this story, because I'm going to talk about a car that I have to, not technically have to get rid of, but it's been on my mind for a while. And it actually is what triggered me to actually sell one of my cars. And if you guys can guess it, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I've been thinking about it for a while, and I didn't sell the car to get this car, but it actually kind of helped push me in that direction. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that good stuff, y'all. Stick with me. We got this. I'm out. Peace.